Hey everyone, welcome back to Upshifting with David Barron. If you enjoy exploring mindfulness topics to shift your thoughts, please subscribe to the channel. Today, I am at the Latta Nature Preserve here just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. I got the hammock set up and just enjoying some time next to the water. It's really nice to be out today, especially since I've spent the whole week in the house, mostly working, and I'm fortunate enough to still be able to work from home during these times. And North Carolina is still being hit pretty hard. We just had our record number of cases on, I believe, Friday, and we're still trying to navigate through this. But something that I was just thinking about sitting here next to the lake is that one thing that I've been processing this whole time since March, whenever I went into quarantine, is I've been struggling and processing grief. And it is something I've been working on for all these months. And I had what I thought was a false sense of control of my life, and the rug was just pulled out from underneath me at the last moment. One day I'm at work, and my boss says, "You're able to take the computer home this evening and work from home." And that evening I've been working from home ever since then. And what I've been going through are the five cycles of grief. And grief for every single one of us is a personal journey. It's different for each one of us. And you can easily ask yourself, why are people not grieving the same way that I am? Do they know that they're grieving? Um, has grief been something that you've also been dealing with yourself? And because we all deal with grief in different ways, it can appear that we are alone in our grief and that other people are not grieving as well, or they may not even be aware that they are grieving. So I thought I would just share with you that these are the things I've been processing with and working on myself. And these five cycles of grieving are: stage one, denial and isolation; anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Now, you may not go through all these cycles in order, or you may skip over a cycle and not go through any of that. For one, I have not gone through the bargaining cycle. I haven't said to myself, so if I do this, please do this. If I ask for this, please do this. But I didn't go through the denial. I went through isolation in my first stage, where I didn't choose. I did choose to go in isolation, but I was also forced to go into isolation in the beginning. And I was alone in the beginning. And I just lost my daily life and lost what I was doing on a daily basis. And I was grieving that. But there are others who may be going through the denial phase of grief. And I've been wondering if that's one of the things that I'm seeing, where people are in denial of their loss and of the situation, and they continue to live their daily life as things are normal. And is that one of the reasons why we are still going through this pandemic, and why people are not accepting or willing to be part of the solution and be part of the community in solving these issues, that they're still in denial? And is it that denial part of what continues this process? And they may not even be aware that they're in denial or want to accept that or recognize that. But that's just one of the thoughts that I've been thinking about with that phase of grief. And then I went through a pretty intense anger phase, where I had so much compassion for those around me and those that I did not know, that I was angry that people were dying. I was angry at the people who were not being responsible and trying to do what they can to help the community in whole. And I was seeing things that were just making me angry. Now, when I say angry, I was not physically yelling or screaming or hurting other people. I was processing a feeling that I was feeling inside of me. It was okay to be angry, especially if it's coming from a position of compassion for others. And I was very aware, and I was watching this anger, and I was watching when it would rise up, and I was watching how my body wanted to react physically, headaches, not being able to sleep at night, and processing those emotions. I didn't go through the bargaining phase, as I mentioned. I believe I've been working through the depression phase of grief, where you start to think that it's all hopeless. Why should I even care about other people if they're not willing to do the right thing to help us as a community get through this? In depression, it can be a very strong emotion that can be very difficult to come out of, and you have to be aware of that you are depressed to start making what I feel the growth of coming back out of depression. And it can kind of pile onto you as well, since you're working from home and you're only getting out on the weekends, and it was a very difficult type of emotion for me. I feel like I'm coming to the end of depression, and which goes into the next phase of acceptance. And acceptance for me would be to accept the new world and the new environment around me, and doing what I can to contribute to the health and safety and welfare of everyone around me, but also for myself and my loved ones, and be more accepting and to put myself more out there into daily life. And it's okay for me, I can fall back into anger in this grieving process, even though I'm in depression, and then that comes up and I have to watch it. And just because I do my work and doesn't mean that I don't go through the same things that you go through. And I'm not perfect, and I don't want to be perfect, but I do want to recognize and accept when I am grieving, to allow myself to process those emotions and go through those different stages. And I feel like that in the end, because I process each and every one of these emotions that come up, I'll come out of this much stronger and healthier in my life and my well-being. And so I would like to hear from you in the comments below if you feel like you're going through the grieving phase. And is there one of these emotions that you're feeling, and have you considered that you're also grieving for the world that you once had is now disrupted, and what you thought you had a sense of is gone, and you have to adjust to that. It's a loss in your life. And it's also being comfortable enough in my own body to recognize and say to others that I'm grieving right now, and not feeling like I am weak for feeling grief. I am not weak for feeling grief. I feel like this is an opportunity to be healthy and more in control, and accepting of who I am, and being a leader and doing my part to process my grief so that I can help others. And I just wanted to be able to share that with you and kind of express the things that I've been working with and processing. And I would love to hear about the things that you're working with and you're processing as well. And we can all grow and learn together. So I appreciate you taking this time to watch this video. And if you would, please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell to be alerted when I upload the next video. And I look forward to seeing all of you next time. Take care. Bye.